Our story begin in basically Revenge of the Fallen, where we would see basically Sideswipe and Jolt working together to basically get Sam out of there. Now we would skip mostly to when Sam revives Optimus. Now the Fallen arrives as how he did in the original timeline, and he attacks Optimus and tries to get the Matrix. But Sideswipe and Jolt look at each other, and both nod and quickly rush in towards basically the Fallen to try to stop him from getting the Matrix. But the Fallen would look at them and smile as he opens a portal right in front of them and basically bandages them to another dimension, like how his brothers did to him back thousands and thousands of years ago. Now we would see basically Jolt and Sideswipe traveling through time and space and arriving in the TFP universe as they would arrive in season 1 episode 6 where we would see Optimus and Bumblebee working together to fight Skyquake, and then we would see basically Jolt and Sideswipe basically just crash down and basically land in the middle of the battlefield. And Sideswipe like, oh dang it, what the hell happened? Joel getting up is like, oh, I think the fallen might have banished us to another dimension. My scanners read differently. I think we're in another universe. Oh scrap. If that's the case, then we must find a way to get back home. And then we would see TF oh my bad. TF Prime Optimus and TF Prime Bumblebee look at them like, who are these guys? And Skyquake looks at them and is like, you two, who are you? Are you Autobots or are you Decepticons? Here in the Sideswipe and Jolt look at him and then both say, we're Autobots, as they don't really recognize Skyquake as they have never met him before. And Skyquake's like, Autobot scum, I will destroy you for Lord Megatron. Here in this, both Sideswipe and Jolt look at each other and both nod and rush in and start attacking basically Skyquake. And the thing is, I would say a few things. Since they were thrown through time and space, I'm gonna say they became slightly stronger, faster, smarter, and way more durable. Plus the fact that I would say the weapons deal a lot more damage, and I'm also gonna give them extra weapons. Sideswipe and Jolt's gonna get extra weapons. I'll explain them a bit later, probably like in part two or later on in the part. But nah, I'm gonna explain it in part two. But for now, they just attack Skyquake, and Skyquake was also fighting them back. And the thing is, he's having a struggling time because they're just using their speed and agility just to overwhelm him. And with this, he just gets completely dominated. Kind of, but he does well. Kind of, basically, he's not losing the fight, but he's getting pushed around. Now, Starscream will see this and is like, Skyquake. He's not as useful as I thought. Ah, how petty. And Starscream proceeds to shoot Skyquake from the back, basically put damaging him and leaving him there to die. As him and Soundwave basically leave, and Soundwave will basically tell him that Megatron is alive. Starscream will still do this. I will say he still removes the dark energy from his spark chamber. Now, both Sideswipe and Jolt look on in shock as Jolt says, "What? Did he just do that?" And and Sideswipe is like, "Yeah, he did." Looking at it in shock. Looking down at Skyquake's like, Starscream, you treacherous fool. And then Sideswipe's like, Starscream? That's Starscream. Oh hell no. That's not Starscream. He's oof. That's not him, fam. That's not him. And then Skyquake looks up and asks if they're gonna kill him. Jolt kneels down and comes in front of him and says, nah, look like you're damaged emotionally and physically, so we're gonna let you live. Now, Primus Optimus asks who they are, and they would explain. And we do get explanation between both sides. And they would take Skyquake back to base and start fixing him up. And Jolt and Sideswipe basically are introduced to Team Prime. and they would explain their story, and Team Prime would explain their story. And hearing the story about the Fallen basically teleporting them here and explaining that the Fallen is one of the original seven primes and yada yada, they would be a bit shocked to hear that our prime teleported them here. And they're like, I don't think any of the primes are that powerful. But never mind. Guess other universes work differently in terms of power scaling. But yeah. And I would have to end up this part right now. See you guys later. Peace.